So physical activity is really important to me for a few reasons. Probably the biggest is that I come from a rather unhealthy family. I just say a lot of history of diabetes, cancer, and so on in my family. Not sure how much of that's genetic, but I certainly think a lot of it's lifestyle related. So, I have a lot of examples of how leading the wrong lifestyle can run you down a path that you might not want to go. So, I'm trying to avoid a lot of that. Would be my answer. For one thing, is I definitely try to avoid, eating out. So I'm always packing in my lunch, which there's a couple things. A, be more healthy around my day, gives me time to go out for a walk, and into just avoids a lot of temptation. So to go out and eat some fast food or eat something that probably not going to treat me very well. I have a bit of a reputation for, I guess being a little bit weird about food or different. I don't, typically, if there's a happy hour during the week that I go to, I might be the guy that's drinking some water because I'm going to the gym afterwards, or, hey, it's a work pizza party. I'm bringing my own lunch. It depends on, what my current goals are. Sometimes it's like, heck with it, I'm having the pizza. But, I think part of that too is like early evenings, I try to reserve that for physical activity. And that often means, I work most of my work day, come to the gym, get a good workout in, might finish up a little bit at home with whatever, some leftover work activities. I usually have stuff too that I can't work at the client side anyway, so that works out. Up 6:30, 7 in the morning. Always make a point to eat a good breakfast. Um, Pack my bags, so workout bag and lunch. Lunch bag, I'll pack that up. Head out to work. Head out to the client wherever it happens to be. Get roughly around 8 hours in there. Head to the gym. Come home. Start working dinner. Dinner for us is usually you know, thinking about what the lunch plans are for the next few days, if we don't have anything. So we're typically doing enough meal planning for a couple days out. So it's usually like, well, is this, for instance, is this dinner going to give us leftovers for lunch? If not, what are we making for lunch that'll be ready to pack up in the morning? So it's kind of part of the routine. And then, like I said, if I have any work to finish up, I'll do that around dinner time, and then usually try to have some downtime and get to bed at a decent hour. So one constant, I do enjoy running. I'm one of those weird people that actually enjoys running. So that's usually part of my physical activity. These days, it could just be, fortunately I'm in Loveland, I'm near the bike trail, so I have some opportunities to go out. I can go get a run in the woods, it's good for the head, or, head to the bike trail, get a little bit of scenery, and that's always nice. Some other activities, I've done some martial arts in the past. Currently, we're taking archery lessons, so kind of learning like Olympic style archery, which I would call a sport or physical activity, kind of along the lines of golf, which is, it's not a heart racing activity, but it's an interesting strength, fine motor strength activity. Can you hold 40 pounds incredibly steady to hit a target? So that's kind of fun. And the hobbies like that usually jump around a bit. Like I said, martial arts in the past. So yes, how do I prioritize that? So I look at I'm looking at my week, and typically I'm shooting for at least minimum of 5, preferably like 6, physical activity sessions. And you say just as a desk jockey. So, ASF, the gym's going to pick up most of that, but, it could easily be, okay, well, I'm also going to go, not the gym, but I'm going to go for a run. It's a nice day, get a bike ride in, etc. But I am, kind of on a week-to-week basis, kind of keeping a running score in my mind of how many sessions I've had, and also too, kind of like I try to avoid going to say 2 days in a row without some sort of physical activity. So. I'm typically targeting, that 85, 90% clean. And what that typically means is try to keep, eating out to maybe 2 times a week. Uh, you know, I find it hard to, I can go to a restaurant and, and eat clean and that, but oftentimes, that's a temptation I just try to avoid. It's a lot easier to control if I'm just buying my own food and preparing it. Likewise, like the Sunday meal prep's a big part of that. Weekend shopping, make sure I got plenty of proteins and vegetables around the house. Sunday is usually going to be some, prepping lunches and like breakfast vegetables and things like that to kind of get the week off to a good start. Um, Broadly, I guess the strategy is always going to be, every meal it's going to be make sure, get an adequate, protein source, hopefully a lean one. Trying to avoid, fatty cuts of red meat and stuff for the most part. Good serving of non-starchy vegetables. That's it. Try to make that a basis of every meal and then fill in a little bit. Might have some starchy, some carbs with that. You know, fat can be added or subtracted, but I always try to make that base to say lean protein and some good non-starchy vegetables, part of that strategy. And like I said, if I'm doing that 85, 90% of the time, and then, have a few, usually Saturday evening, we're going to go out to eat. I'm going to get some Indian, maybe go get a pizza. I'm going to eat it. I'm not going to worry about it.